Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Bears going up against the Vikings.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Avoids him at the 40. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, 79 yards. And the Bears have taken the early lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
Watch it now, Barney.
Time running out here on the play clock. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Lets it fly for Thielen. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, You just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. Fighting his way through contact. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Cook, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. He'll rifle this one deep right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quentin Demps. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in Q1 of the new year. We'll be back. And a great spot to start this drive from here. After the interception, here's Trubisky. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 7 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing. All right, now look at 56.
Now Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. A shotgun snap for Keenum. That's caught by Treadwell. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Here we go. Detroit!
Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, in motion. They run again on first down. Cook. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Green 39!
And the back goes into motion. Just beating the play clock. Keenum. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Trubisky on first down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down, Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. 39. Here we go. 3-19.
And the slot man goes in motion left. On second down, Cook. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Back to throw, Keenum. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Second down following the run. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Rodgers. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
This is Howard on second down. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. managing risk. This is a big decision here.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
All right, now, look at 56. Gone! Hurry up, here we go.
They run it again with Cook. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The final shot before half for Keenum. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A first throw for the backup Griffin. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Griffin to throw. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 70 yards. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Rodgers. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. shift together here from the D-line. Here's Trubisky to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. On the toss play, Howard. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Now Griffin down around his goal line. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Again, this is Cook. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Griffin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And out now come the Vikings. First and 10, it's Griffin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They go play action. Griffin. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Pernell McPhee in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here we go on 4th down with Griffin. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. On the handoff, this is Howard. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion. And
now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Griffin. Looking for Floyd, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. From the gun on third down, Griffin. It's brought in by Floyd. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
On second down, Griffin. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Ninth play of the drive now on third and a country mile. From the gun, it's Griffin. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Play action, it's Griffin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They go play action with Griffin. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They go with Howard again, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Bears on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. A give to Howard. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Chicago, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.